He can count.
We're going to start right there. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of...
3, 2,
Ha ha ha! 1 ha ha ha! Welcome to the podcast. Ha ha ha!
As always, I am one of your hosts, Brandon. Joining me is the crew, the men that love making fun of me, my lovely cousin
we make
Louis.
fun of each other equally. We're an equal rights hater here. We hate
my
everybody
God.
equally.
They were ragging on me so hard right before we started recording. And of course, William.
Hello, everybody. Good to see
Hello.
you. Good to see you, because I can see people right now.
Only in your mind.
This is the beauty of technology nowadays. We don't have to actually see each other to be able to do this.
Thank God, because can you imagine if we had to commute to this every single week? I mean, you live in Miami, so you just have to drive up to
when you lived in Orlando, you used to do it, didn't you?
Yeah, but that was like a 40-minute drive. Now it'd be a 2-hour flight.
True.
Yeah.
Actually, isn't it more than that? Isn't it like a 3-hour flight?
It's like that. It's closer to 3 hours. Plus, then you gotta land. Then you gotta get a car. Then you gotta drive in the middle of nowhere because you can't live in civilization.
TSA has to stick a finger up your ass. What are you doing? Okay, can we talk about this? Before we started recording, William was so quiet. And then as soon as we started recording, my man's like, wait, let me open this drawer. Let me start sifting through, crack, crack. That's all I hear in the background, man.
Sorry, that was the ice. I was breaking the ice for the new listeners.
Wah, wah, wah. That joke number 2 already. I'm gonna crack this episode.
As always, we start our show with the first segment, which is movie news. I don't know if you have any movie news.
Yes, I got glorious movie
it's been
news.
a while. Woo, we did it.
We're going to have some fun with this one.
Okay.
So, all right, I want to start off by saying we're getting a live action, another live action of Masters of the Universe.
Are we really?
Yes, we are.
David
Boyer.
Yo, when are we getting a live action Thundercats, dude? Come on.
I was about to say that. I'm like, when's Thundercats coming on?
So the same guy that did Man of Steel is actually directing this one.
Zack Snyder.
Oh, no.
Pre-production should be coming out 2019.
Wait.
The next
Zack
year.
Snyder?
No, David Goyer.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I was like, Zack Snyder?
I'm already over it. Moving on.
Sherlock Holmes 3 is coming out.
With Robert Downey Jr.?
Yes. Rachel McAdams, Jude Law, directed by Guy Ritchie.
Hey, speaking of Sherlock Holmes, can we take a minute to talk about our opinion of Will Ferrell doing Sherlock Holmes?
Fuck that.
You know about that?
That was so fast. Like, fuck that. I'm not about it.
Will Ferrell. I cannot stand that man.
I low key can't stand him either. I'm kind of on the same boat as you.
Low key now.
Not a fan.
Low key.
There ain't no low key. High key. I really don't.
High
key. I don't like Will Ferrell.
Yeah, no. That man. Like you know when Homer Simpson strangles Bart by the neck? That's what I want to do. Every time I see him on screen, I just yeah.
Who's his partner in crime? There, Macy, I think his name is.
I don't know.
What the hell's his name? He always does his movies with. If you think Talladega Nights, if you think Step Brothers, who's the guy that he does this?
I don't look at him.
I have a couple stuff to bring up in case you left them out of movie news. But yeah, sorry.
But I'm excited that Laurel and Hardy is actually getting their own movie.
Laverne and Shirley?
Ooh. No, not Laverne and Shirley. Laurel and Hardy. God, I hate you. And it's basically like a biopic and the behind the scenes of it's going to be like a rise and fall kind of movie. But what is his name?
I love this show so much.
Right? It would have been good if we discussed this before. That we're gonna. I forget this part.
Hey, we always do movie news. Come on.
Not always. We have skipped it.
Only when we've been doing these series before. So
okay.
There's another interesting production that's actually officially in pre-production, and it's going to be starring Anne Hathaway. It's
Mhm.
actually going to be directed and created as a musical with the creator of Portlandia.
God damn! Did you hear the disdain in my voice? I was like, ugh.
And it's
John
Sesame Street.
John C. Riley is the
Oh.
name.
There we go.
Okay.
Bro, William's like that guy that like 30 minutes later he's like, oh shit, I remember. And he just like
Shut up. I have slow internet. My MDB wasn't loading fast enough.
Wow.
Oh
So
my God.
Sesame Street is actually getting a live action musical coming out.
Isn't Sesame Street already live action and musical?
Well, they originally
Am I supposed to be like, oh my God, about that?
There's an explanation behind that. It was originally this film has been in limbo, in production limbo for the last 5 years, and they're originally going to do an animated series of it on Netflix. Then that got dropped. It got picked up as an animated movie, and then now it got picked up as a musical live action. So that's why it's live action. So on that note,
Wow, I got real quiet.
Jam 2.
Wait, what?
Space Jam 2.
my
LeBron James.
Well, speaking of movies in limbo, Jesus Christ.
Yo, I
don't know how I feel about that.
I love Space Jam 1. God, I love that movie so much.
Space Jam 2 has been in the talks since LeBron's second season in the NBA. Just to give everybody an idea of how long.
No, they actually went. It's 100%. It's go. They got a script. They got a company that's financing. Everything is go for 2020. It's coming out.
How are we getting a second Space Jam thing, but Beetlejuice 2 still in the talks?
Because Space Jam is a better movie.
Hey.
Oh.
No.
We need to re-talk about the host of this show.
Yeah, no.
I literally just said that just to see what both of you would say, and you didn't disappoint, baby. Yeah, I got it. All right, it was just to get a rise out of both of you. I don't really mean that.
Okay. They just finished wrapping a movie that I'm very interested in seeing, and this is the director of The Haunting of Hill House. It's what do you call it? What?
Said, oh God, here we go.
Mike Flanagan is directing. Ian McGregor, and they just wrapped up production for January 2020 release, Doctor Sleep, the sequel to The Shining. I want to see what the hell they're gonna do.
You can
Why
feel
isn't
my
Kubrick doing it
through your headphones right now, listeners. Can you feel the erection? Because it's there.
Oh God, can we get like that? Not kazoo, but that whistle. It goes whoop. The only thing that would really make this the only thing that could make you literally hear him over the radio and do that is if Kubrick was still alive and doing it.
Probably.
The thing is that they're throwing away Kubrick's. So Kubrick's film is not canon. Neither is the miniseries. They're going straight off the book, so it's not canon at all. Because some of the characters that died in The Shining are going to be coming into this film because they're actually basing it on the Doctor Sleep book. Gotcha. They're not basing it on, obviously,
Danny, Kubrick. Right? The main character?
Yeah, Danny's the main character, and this is, I think it was 20 years later, 30 years later, something like that. But, the black dude that gets the axe to the chest in The Shining, he wasn't supposed to get the axe to the chest, spoiler alert. And he's still alive.
He's not getting years. He won't get axed, but he can axe a question.
Oh my God! Can we not, William?
That was 2 in 1. That's a good one right there.
Yeah. Yikes.
Yikes! That was bad.
So another film that's going to be interesting as hell. Fantasy Island. This is another Blumhouse production where it's this island that fantasies come true. Ironically,
isn't that called porn?
God. Why do I record with this man? Why?
Because nobody else will do it.
So 2020, we're going to be expecting that Blumhouse production film. They haven't announced any stars.
I don't know. why the title of that film reminds me of the one that's coming out now. I think it's also a Blumhouse movie. The one where it's a group of people that get told to go to a place for a lottery or something, and then it's like they have to safe room or some shit like that. It's called.
No, that's called the Florida election.
No.
I'm not gonna count that one. That was actually good.
Oh my god! It's starring the girl from
Broward County
from Daredevil. The girl that plays Karen Page, she's in the film. Like they go and they have
I
to
know
like.
which one you're talking about. I just can't remember the name.
It's a Blumhouse movie, right?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay.
Another interesting one where I don't know where this is gonna go because it's starring Jared Leto. It's called Morbius. It's
yes, Marvel.
Is it?
Yeah, Marvel. He's the vampire dude from Spider-Man.
Yeah.
From Spooderman.
I don't know how that's gonna come out. I don't like Jared Leto that much as a actor.
Have they said that this is like Venom? It's like a standalone film or something like
that?
It
is a standalone film, yes.
But that's not to... It's like Venom in the sense that it's not Marvel, right? It's like Fox doing it or something like that?
It is Fox, yes.
Gotcha. Okay, okay.
And then...
Well, I mean, I'll give it... as much as I hate to admit this, since Venom, I now have to give Fox their benefit of the doubt because we all thought Venom was going to royally suck and blow, and it was neither. So they deserve their whatever you want to call it.
Did it tickle your nutsack, Will?
No, not really, because then I closed my eyes and I remembered they were responsible for 3 Fantastic Four
yes, they are.
movies. So,
yeah,
hey, the last one was not that bad. Come on, guys.
What? The last Fantastic Four?
It was not that bad.
That was the worst of them all.
Oh, come on.
I haven't seen it. I'm not going to open my mouth.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Speaking, I'm going to do a little segue. I don't know if you have this on your list, but since we're talking about Spooderman, today it was announced he finally said that he is actually playing the villain of the next Spider-Man film, Far From Home, and that is Jake Gyllenhaal. He's playing Mysterio. He's the villain.
That's been out for about a month and a half now.
No, but he himself finally said that he's doing it. Like those were rumors.
They released they released a set picture of him in full Mysterio outfit with his face.
Lies.
Like a month ago.
Lies.
No, they didn't lie.
Whatever. You guys. Whatever.
The last thing that I wanted to mention was they're officially slating and doing with the Rock is actually signed on to work on the new Jumanji pick. So it's going to be Jumanji.
On a sequel?
Yes.
Do you have any other ones? Because I have some stuff.
Go ahead.
Can we touch... Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, go ahead.
Also, today they finally announced there is a Men in Black 4 coming out called International, which is going to star Tessa Thompson and Chris Hemsworth.
I thought that was a joke.
No, that is actually real. That is actually super real. Yep.
Wow.
Can we touch upon the sadness that is Netflix canceling Daredevil?
I mean, yes and no. We all saw this coming.
Yeah.
With Disney doing their own thing coming next year, they pulled a whole bunch of Disney-based.
Did you guys hear how popular Daredevil is? The 4th most watched show on Netflix.
Yeah, and I think
behind Stranger Things, Sabrina, and something else. I forgot the third one.
I believe it. I believe it, dude, because this series was phenomenal, and we're actually going to do an episode about that soon, hopefully.
Yes.
And what do you call it? I think Disney's honestly going to pick it up, or Netflix is going to be allowed to continue doing the story, because look at what they did with the whole Friends thing, that they're going to take out Friends, and because of the outrage everybody had, they're like, no, we're not going to take it out. We're going to pay that extra money and do a contract to get it back.
Yeah, are you serious? I didn't hear about that.
Yep.
Yeah, they paid.
Netflix in 24 hours, because they announced it yesterday. They were pulling it, right?
Yeah. Within 24 hours, there was so much backlash from fans that Netflix paid $100 million to keep the streaming rights for Friends.
Wow, this is how. This is great. This is just cheap people that won't go out and buy the series on DVD, so they blame Netflix. Don't take it. I'll pay you the $10 a month as long as you don't take it. I don't have to go out and pay $40 a season.
I've read plenty of articles about Daredevil being canceled, about people asking, "Oh, is Daredevil going to continue on Disney Plus, the streaming service?" And I don't think so. Most articles don't think so because they have said that they don't want anything violent or gory on their streaming service. And Daredevil is not gory, but it is certainly violent.
Technically, what do you call it? Netflix could continue doing Marvel shows until 2022. Technically, I think what happened was Disney told them stop. Like that is, they probably paid them a shitload of money to stop.
They were like, stop. And by the looks of it, if the flagship Marvel series is canceled, then after the next 2 seasons of Jessica Jones and Punisher, say bye to those shows too. Those are going away too.
Yeah.
From the looks of it, every single Netflix original Marvel series is probably going to be canceled.
Unfortunately.
Which sucks. Because most of the shows, minus maybe Iron Fist and Luke Cage, because I don't really care for them, were really good, actually.
It was okay.
Yeah, Luke Cage was fine. Iron Fist, dear God, no. Please
yeah, that
stay
was
away.
Pretty atrocious. I watched 2 episodes and I'm like, no, I don't need to do this. Continue.
Yeah, no. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because, man, I legitimately felt so, betrayed. I know that sounds terrible and just stupid, but I was like, how... Bro, and it sucked because it came out of nowhere. The showrunner tweeted like a week or 2 ago. He was like, I'm super excited. We're pitching the idea for season 4 to Netflix, and I'm excited where the show is going. And then out of nowhere, they just canceled it. And the showrunner was like, I cannot believe what is happening. I didn't see this coming. I was like, damn, that sucks.
Yeah, seriously.
That really sucks.
Other very big news that happened recently that we haven't been able to go over. Filmstruck is actually going out of business. They're closing up their streaming network.
Yes,
and that is
which a bunch of directors... Sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
That is a very sad day because a lot of the classics, Criterion, all that stuff, the main chosen films that, like, for film students and stuff like that, they're all on there, and that's a sad day to see all those go because nobody else has the balls to put that type of content up. Unfortunately, people were basically not jumping onto it or not paying for the service. They're just doing the free service and then canceling, changing their email, doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah,
but a bunch of people are getting together and doing it, trying to figure out a way to do it.
Wasn't Christopher Nolan one of those directors that was like, holy shit, this is...
what do you call it? Spielberg and what's his face? Scorsese were part of that group as well.
Yeah.
There was a whole group of them. It was like 20 of them that were trying to do something with it, but we'll see. Okay. We'll see what happens with that.
All right. So that's it, right? For movie news, nothing else?
Yeah, unless you guys had something.
Nope, that's it. Those are the 3 that I wanted to bring up. So, all right. I guess stay tuned for this quick little break, and when we come back,
Captain Marvel. Anyone?
Oh
no. Are we?
We're excited. I mean, that.
I want to. I'm more excited. So, ironically, today we're recording on the 5th of December to timestamp this episode.
Happy Krampus night.
Yeah, they were actually supposed to drop the first trailer for Avengers 4 today, but they postponed it due to supposedly due to George H.W. Bush's funeral, I guess. Yeah,
they closed the post office. I was like, are you kidding? What?
Yeah, so...
Well, I mean, that's when...
The post office isn't a federal service. It's an independent company. So I'm like, what?
Yeah, but I mean, it's a sign of like respect and everything. I mean, when especially like, I mean, if somebody that's kind of like passes away, I mean, all right, whatever. But George Bush wasn't exactly your mom and pop kind of politician, you know. And I don't know, like I actually applaud them for closing and showing respect. And I don't know if you guys saw the clip that just popped up from the funeral of Bob Dole literally being helped out of his wheelchair to give a final salute to Bush at the funeral, which I think was as classy as anybody can get, especially in this day and age with how politics are. And you see these old politicians showing us the old ways and how things used to be. But
also, watch or listen to George W. Bush's speech about his dad and stuff. It's really good. But yeah, so I'm excited for Captain Marvel, but I'm also I wanted to see the trailer. I wanted to see what they were going to show. But I guess we'll have to wait until tomorrow or one of these days. Who the hell knows? All right, guys, stay tuned after this quick little break, and we're going to come at you with the main segment of our show, which is Outlaw King.
Yes.
All right, guys, and we're back from commercial break.
And we're back. I wish I had like one of those announcer voices, like the guy, like the stereotypical voice in like a trailer of a film, like one man. That I'd be so happy with my life. But whatever.
That deep voice.
Yeah, that deep, just so good.
You don't sound like a 12-year-old child.
Are you saying that I sound like a 12-year-old child?
I believe, yes.
I implied that, which is a different thing. I didn't say that.
Hey, we both don't have deep voices, okay? Fuck you. All right, guys, we're reviewing Outlaw King.
Okay. We're reviewing English grammar.
Yeah, English grammar today. Outlaw King. It's a Netflix original. Is it a Netflix original? Is it? Okay. Yep. Well, so that's where it gets me. I'm like, is it like made specifically for Netflix, or Netflix just bought the streaming rights for it?
No, this is a Netflix original.
Yo, for a Netflix original? Jesus.
Let me see, because I think this is not original though.
Yeah, that's what I think it was like a film, and then Netflix was like,
this was a film, and they picked up the rights to it.
Yeah, exactly. Netflix is like, okay, we're gonna pick up they're gonna pay for the streaming rights.
They didn't pay for the streaming rights. They actually paid into the film, but it wasn't a Netflix original film because technically there was other companies that paid more into it.
Okay,
that's where it kind of gets weird.
So, Outlaw King is a historical film about Robert the Bruce. So basically, this is right after, if for any of the listeners you've ever seen Braveheart. Well, the movie starts like during Braveheart, doesn't it?
Yeah, it starts when Braveheart is in hiding, so it's right before his death.
Yeah, because they at one point, remember,
it goes into a flashback right at the beginning, but it's
because remember
it doesn't. It starts with the surrender of the Scottish lords to of England.
Correct, and that's I remember how it happens in Braveheart, that they do that, and the only way that they're allowed to actually go without being hung themselves is that they have to turn in William Wallace, and that's what they did. They turned him in, and then they had that meeting afterwards. So it's literally place right after the.
Remember, like 20 minutes into the film, Chris Pine's character Robert the Bruce goes to turn in the taxes, and then they see like the
arm.
Yeah, like the people are like, Wallace is dead, and they start going fucking batshit crazy.
Well, because remember, this is not the time of internet where the word gets out in 5 minutes. It takes months to get out to the outskirts. And they took to London, so that takes a good month to get there, and then a month back.
So basically, this film, like we were saying, is right after William Wallace is killed by King Edward. Basically, Robert the Bruce, another Scottish man,
played by Chris Pine,
by Chris Pine, basically crowns himself the King of Scots and decides to fight England for the what's the word? Help me out here, guys. English. Do I speak
Scotland?
it? No, like to gain their rights, like independence. That's what I was looking for. Basically,
Good boy, all by himself, he reached it.
I did it. He starts fighting for the independence of Scotland from England, and
So basically, he becomes the new William.
yeah, he becomes the new William Wallace, and he is actually the king historically that gains the independence. Like, he's the one that fights for it. And I actually went up online after watching the film, like actually started reading up on Robert the Bruce. Yo, it takes him like 20 years to gain the independence of Scotland. Like, that is insane.
Yeah, it's completely nuts.
It's not like, oh, he becomes the king of Scots and then like over the course of a year. It's like, no. This man is fighting for like 20 years before England is like, yeah, you're good. Like, you're independent now. You're fine.
Yeah, and it's fascinating because actually the movie has a lot of actors from Braveheart. The Robert the Bruce's father is actually the one that plays Robert Bruce's father in Braveheart.
Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. It's been a while since I've seen Braveheart.
Also, which this is a personal little satisfaction for all the Doctor Who fans out there, the guy that plays Van Gogh comes out in this film as well, Tony Curran.
The guy that plays Van Gogh.
In Doctor Who.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
Angus.
The what?
He's Angus, the one that they go to the island at one point.
Yep.
Yeah. Now that you say, I didn't put that together, but now that you mention it, yeah, that is him.
I was one of those things that I was like, oh my god, is that person? And I was like, IMDbing at the same time watching him, and I'm like, oh my god, this movie has so many awesome actors.
Can we talk about, honestly, my favorite character in the movie, which is played by Aaron Taylor Johnson, James Douglas. This guy just goes, bro, every time he's like, when he goes into the church and starts murdering them and he's like, Douglas, I was like, this man is insane. And I
Black Douglas. Fuck
yeah. He's like, man, I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. And like the actor like literally like starts screaming and there's like spit and like drool and stuff. I was like, wow, this is incredible.
I mean, he played Quicksilver in Avengers.
Yes, that is Quicksilver in Avengers 2. Yes, Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah,
that's Quicksilver. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was Kick-Ass?
Yes.
Yes.
That is Kick-Ass. Yes.
Get out! Oh my god!
It's just my man has long hair and a sick beard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy crap!
Yeah.
Yep.
And he survives this one.
And we talk about that. We see Chris Pine Panos. Can we talk about that,
dude? Chris Pine
what?
kills it in this movie. Holy!
My man's Panos is out in the open, everywhere in this movie.
The man's got balls.
Dude, I was like, woo, this man doesn't care.
One of my favorite characters in this movie, believe it or not, in a movie full of virile, strong Scotsmen, is actually his wife.
Right.
His wife is awesome.
And the way that she's just like a badass and not really giving a crap, and just like she stands up to him. She, not like in a bad way, obviously, even for those times, but she's just like, I'm a woman, hear me roar. And if you don't like it, you're still going to hear me roar. Yeah. And she doesn't give him up when she's almost sitting there and you're like, don't sign that. She puts two and two together and realizes that he's trying to force her to sign something just because, he's trying to use it against him. Oh my God. I was like, you go with your bad self, girl. Go with your bad self.
Not only that, like the way that she stands up for the people in Scotland.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. I love how they did that, and I love how they made the king's son look like a complete ass and a complete like
he is an ass.
So speaking of the king's son and the king himself, here's something I didn't understand. Or not really understand. I was kind of like, hold on a second. They changed, although he still seems that he dies of syphilis, they changed the timeline of when he dies. Because if you remember well in Braveheart, he dies to the screaming of William Wallace going, freedom. Whereas here, they're on the way to the battle with Chris Pine, when he passes away, and his son then ends up taking over and becoming king.
Yeah.
So they did change that, right? Like I wasn't like missing a piece of history or got something wrong.
It was one of those things like it's the only way to introduce Robert as a king without having to over explain everything and then kill him off right at the beginning of the story, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like you got to have that antagonist that's actually threatening, and then you can't just introduce the son because the son had nothing to do in Braveheart, and this is literally a direct sequel to Braveheart. I mean, everything indicates it. Even the actors, everything. I mean, it literally, like, the only reason they weren't able to get the guy that originally played Robert the Bruce was because
he's probably like 60 now. Or
exactly.
Dead.
So
he might be dead. God knows.
And honestly, they did a good choice with Chris Pine in this role. Like,
I actually think Chris Pine is a fine actor. Like, I honestly,
he is.
I
don't joke about him being the best Pine. Best Chris.
Best Pine. Oh,
he is the
Christopher Pine. Oh, Christopher Pine. You make the best Christmas tree.
Yo, watching this movie, like, just thinking of like how harsh times were, like how it was at that time period, like,
God, yeah.
Jesus Christ, man. I would have hated to, like, they kill you for nothing. They just come in and be like, all right, cool, we're raping and pillaging, let's go. And it's like, dude, the scene when they come in, when the Prince of Wales comes in to kidnap basically Robert's wife and his daughter. And
he hangs his brother
and just like guts him, and I was like, Jesus Christ!
And then he just like pretty much beheads the old man too, like right in front of the kid.
Shit, dude.
Yeah, this film is not as brutal as Braveheart, but it is pretty close.
There's some scenes.
It has its moments.
Like when the kid is dying at the end, that he's just impaled by that spike.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Oh man, I felt so bad for that kid. I was like, damn, dude, that sucks. And he looked young. He was probably like, what, 15 years old?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah,
it's just, I don't know. Like, I watch movies like this, and I'm like, it's like any war, but like it's so different because to me, like, you get killed by a gunshot. It can be quick. It can be slow depending on where they shoot you. But like a sword, unless they like decapitate you, is probably gonna be real slow. You're just gonna bleed out basically, and it's just horrible. Like, I don't know. It's just like,
it was pretty. Yeah, that must have been horrible. And then if you don't die from that, you die from the infection too much.
You die from infection or disease and stuff like that. It's like, but honestly, for anyone that has not seen the movie and is thinking to themselves like, oh, this is a Netflix movie. No, actually, the budget, like the movie is very well done.
Extremely well done.
The battle at the end of the film is very well done.
Yes.
Honestly, the budget, I'm on Wikipedia, it's $120 million, which is significant.
Wow. Yeah,
it's significant, but for the kind of movie that it is and how it was shot, it's kind of on the lower side, especially nowadays. So I'm impressed.
Yeah, well, I mean, and having a pretty good cast. I mean, the cast is not completely unknown. So I mean, it pretty good.
So yeah, I mean,
yeah, and but they had to film. Like, look at this. They filmed in 3 castles.
Yeah.
A church, a cathedral, like they actually filmed in England and Scotland. So God knows, I'm pretty sure you just can't walk into a castle and be like, I'm gonna film here today.
Everybody out! We are filming.
I'm gonna film a movie here today. No, I don't think you could do
Put a little sign to all the tourists coming in. You may or may not be on camera. I mean, like even like the costuming for the movie was very well done. I don't know, like the only thing that I was kind of like,
the battle sequences were a little. It was anticlimactic in the same realm as Braveheart, where we saw these like.
But the thing is,
craziness of Braveheart.
Also, Braveheart is a 3-hour film. Mind you, this movie's 2 hours, but like I don't know. To me, it's
They flew.
you want
Yeah.
more because you want to see an end to this story in the sense that you want to see Scotland gain its independence, but that's not going to happen because then it'd be a 10-hour movie. You know, they can't do that unless they're skipping around in the timeline.
Um,
My one thing is like I wanted him to kill the Prince of Wales at the end, but historically that's not going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. And plus,
and also it was symbolic. Yeah, but it was also symbolic because, and that's actually the point I was going to bring. One of the big changes, because I love historical pigs,
Yeah.
but one of the big changes that they made up literally because I Googled it because I had no idea what it was. I mean, having grown up in Europe, I did a lot of learning of like European history. And when they talked about raising the red dragon flag or whatever he said, I'm like, this is a terminology I've literally never heard.
Wait, when
Really?
they said what? Sorry?
when they raised the flag of the red dragon.
Of the red dragon.
Oh.
It's not a thing. It was literally made up for the movie. Because it was basically saying.
It was actually historically, it was the flag of the Red Demon. That's what they would raise when the king gave orders of no submission.
No chivalry. Yeah, like all the chivalry rules. It's kind of like going into battle now and saying you're throwing out the what is it? It's not the rules of engagement. There's the Geneva Convention. It's like saying we're going into battle and throwing out the Geneva Convention. That's what it would signify.
Just go.
It's like you can go into any home, kill woman, child, like kind of like when he breaks the pact where at the beginning where he's like, okay, me and you are going to battle this out one-on-one tomorrow, and then he ambushes them. Back then, that was one of the worst things you could do because as a knight and even higher, when you gave your word meant everything. And for you to go and break that showed that you had no value, no moral, no nothing. But that's what raising the red dragon was supposed to signify, that it was like, we're not going to care. Why would you let your enemy know that you have, you know what I mean? Like you're giving him the same advantage you have, which in contrast, you're kind of doing a chivalrous thing by letting them know that you have no chivalry. So your other opponent can be like, oh, well, I'll do this.
It's also a scare tactic because that's why you have like the flags, like the Romans used to carry around the flags with the symbols of the Roman Empire and how many, technically those are badges of how many people, how many armies that battalion actually took out, or that legion took out. That's what that represents. The longer the flag, the more legions that has actually taken out, that group of people actually took out. So it's an intimidation factor. Same thing that the Japanese do by having the color coding on their flag whenever they go into war. It's all like scare tactics. When they see those flags and they see literally a wave and like a cloud of freaking flags flying around, you're like, holy crap, that's coming around to attack us. It's all intimidation factor.
By the way, I'm looking up how old Black Douglas was during all this. He was like 20 years old, which is insane. Like, yeah, they're like super young. My man didn't really live too long, which at the time was normal. He was 40, 41 when he died, which is very normal back then.
Yeah, it's crazy how that is.
Yeah, honestly, like, there's not much else to say. I don't know if you guys want to bring anything else up.
I just want to get everybody's rating on this one. What do you guys think?
I'd give this like a 9.
Yeah, very much the same.
I give it an 8.5. Yeah,
8.5. Yeah,
yeah,
around the same.
8.5.
It's definitely a very good 2-hour movie. It goes by quick. It's very, very well acted.
But watch it with Braveheart. If you haven't seen Braveheart, you got to watch Braveheart first.
Right.
Watch that, then watch this. And honestly, I went back and watched Braveheart right after it. And I was like, oh my God, I should have watched it before. It would have added so much to it. Like, it really helps.
I haven't seen Braveheart in a while. I should watch that movie.
It's really good. And it's on Netflix.
Braveheart's on Netflix?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Oh my God. Thank you for telling me that. Thank you for telling me that.
So I don't know how much we want to talk about spoilers about upcoming movies.
No, it's not yet.
It is on
What?
Netflix.
No, it's not.
Braveheart?
It's not here. No, it is not. I'm looking it up right now. It's not on Netflix.
I saw it yesterday. I thought I saw it yesterday.
Yeah, what's up?
I don't know how we are about spoilers for upcoming movies, but I was just reading an article about how Funko Pop jumped the gun on Captain Marvel and released a character that apparently was being kept secret, and now it's out in the open.
Oh,
Is
really?
it Jude Law's character?
Wow.
Jude Law's character.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
Sucks to suck, motherfucker.
And this is not the first time that Funko Pop has screwed Marvel over, because they screwed them over for Civil War.
Honestly, it's not even... I've noticed that toy lines do that a lot. It's not just Funko. It's like Lego. Any of those toy lines...
Back in the day, I forgot whatever company it is that does the Batman series, they screwed the pooch on Mask of the Phantasm.
Yes.
Because they released the action figure
that's Andrea. Yeah.
without the mask, but the mask attached to it just so you could do both. And people were like, oh, so this person's a Phantasm. Okay, that's cool. Thanks for giving away the movie.
By the way, speaking of that movie, for anyone that has never seen Mask of the Phantasm, it is probably one of the best Batman movies ever. So please go do a favor and watch that.
Yeah.
All right. So stay tuned after this quick little break, and we're going to come at you with the individual reviews, the final segment. All right, guys, welcome back for the final segment of our show, the individual reviews. I'm going to be going first this time, and I'm going to be reviewing Cam, which is also another Netflix original movie. Cam stars, what's this chick's name? Madeline Brewer. Madeline Brewer, she's one of the actresses from The Handmaid's Tale.
Yes.
She's the one that's missing the eye.
The cripple, yeah.
Not, yeah.
You say that like I've actually watched The Handmaid's Tale, but
you should. You definitely should.
I'm not going to now that I know somebody doesn't have an eye.
Dude, you find that on like the first episode. Relax. So, Madeline Brewer plays Alice Ackerman, or Lola, as she goes by, because basically she is a cam girl. She basically, for anyone that does not know what a cam girl is, they go online and they strip for money and stuff, and they do weird things on cam. But, what?
I was gonna say, from the way that we are and the way that I picture our audience, for the most part, not everybody, of course.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we all know what a cam girl is.
But she is different in the sense that she actually she has a rule that she doesn't get nude in her cam show.
No, what's the point?
So I don't, I said the same thing watching the movie. I'm like, what is the point then? But whatever.
It's the tea.
So basically, she is on a website where the girls are rated, and basically you start at, like, let's say hypothetically, like placeholder 100,000, and then as the more you cam and the more following you get, you continuously go up. And when the movie starts, she's like in the 50s basically.
Yeah, the high.
And she's trying to get to like number one. And
she's trying to go beyond, get under 50.
But of course, like her ultimate objective is to be number one on the site.
Yeah.
And but she starts resorting to doing like crazy things, like faking suicides and stuff on cam, because people are sick and they love that shit. And basically, at one point in the film, she realizes one night she's not streaming, she's not doing her thing, but she's online, and she sees that there is an exact.
By the way, spoilers, big time.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna say what it is, but yes, just in case. She sees that there's somebody online that looks exactly like her, like literally to the T, and is camming, and basically has taken over her her profile to the point that she can't get in, and yada 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 and all that stuff. And then the movie basically progresses of like her life is basically being stolen from her, and it's her trying to make this person stop and for her to get back her life and her profile on this cam site and all that stuff.
You see, the thing with that the movie is that if you're gonna do that, at least make me want to care. It really didn't. I honestly didn't. I gave 3 shits about what was going on in her life. I was like, eh.
It's
I really,
definitely like
there
I'll
was
say
no stakes whatsoever in this film. It didn't feel like there were. It was
there definitely is not, like, in the sense of like if she is not able to get back her profile, there's really nothing that will happen to her. It's not like she's gonna die or.
And then the ending of this film was.
The ending is.
I'm not gonna say what it is, but oh god, it is the most anticlimactic ending ever. I was like, really?
The movie's, it's like her. It's just about getting your identity stolen and all that stuff.
Bland and not what do you call it? Sociable? Yeah.
I didn't think the movie was bad. I honestly didn't think
it was atrocious. I wanted my hour and a half back. The only
I wouldn't go that far.
Watching
I wouldn't
was because I was like, all right, I want to see how the hell this ends. And then even that was like the most disappointing thing. I'm like, I literally sat in my chair and I screamed out in my house. I was the only one in the house, and I go, the fuck? I literally like, what? That's it? The dog was staring at me because I was like, I was so disappointed and so like, ugh.
I don't know. Like, I definitely didn't think it was anything out of this world, but I didn't think that the film was as bad as you think it is, or I assume. Like, what would you, rating-wise, what would you give this film?
A 2 out of 10?
God damn.
Yes, Harry Potter was higher.
It was trying to be shocking for no reason. It was trying to play on people's emotions. It was trying to play on people's paranoia of social media and all that stuff. And it failed at every single turn that it did. It made me not give a shit about any of the characters, including the brother, the mom. It was just so badly written. The characters were flat. This girl, like, you could see her range in Handmaid's Tale. And here, she's just a complete ditz. And it's like...
I think she does a fine job in the movie.
Yeah.
And the movie shows you how creepy these dudes are. Like, the guys that are into, like, the cam girls and stuff. Like, the ones that...
Oh, no,
not like...
No.
No, yeah, but, like, you really see it
Careful
in this...
what you say. Lewis is one of them.
No, okay, look.
Wow.
I don't have anything against people that watch cam girls, but, like, you know, the stereotypical creepy dude that they're like, yeah, baby, like, I'm gonna take care of you, like, that kind of shit. They're definitely like in their 50s and stuff, and this girl's like in her late 20s. It's really off-putting.
It is really
Well,
creepy.
you know,
It's like,
sugar daddy.
Yeah, no, but like this guy's just like, I don't know.
But the way that they act is really creepy.
Yeah, like there's
a
a sequence in this movie where the guy's like super creepy and just gross.
few of them.
Yeah. Definitely what I would give this movie, 6, 7, 6. Definitely wouldn't go 2. A 2 is Jesus, man. Like, that is God.
Definitely not Jesus. Jesus is at least a 5.
Jesus is a friend of mine. And Satan is my homie, dude. Satan is my homie.
He gets a 6 or 7.
Satan's better. Give him a little high five down there in hell, you know?
Ratings going down.
Oh, God, I almost choked on myself there. All right.
That's
Yeah,
what
see, that's
Satan.
That's Jesus telling you nope, and then Jesus saved you from not choking.
He turned that water into something else.
Ew, dude. Ew, you sick bastard, dude. What's wrong with you?
I didn't say what it was. You implied that on your own, buddy.
Okay.
No, I said it. I straight up said it.
Did you? I didn't even hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Come. It was cum.
Nah, that's what I was thinking too. But okay, I guess William said it out loud. All right. You said that you're I don't even know. I'm like Lewis. You're next.
All right. Yeah.
Just
All
thinking
right.
of
So
Jesus jizz in my mouth. I can't believe I just said that in a sentence. But you know what? Life's crazy, right?
yeah,
The MPAA is gonna censor us so hard. Episode's gonna be like, so, guys, have a seat.
we need to talk about your content.
This
Anyway,
entire ending sequence of the show is just gonna be muted. The rest of the show's fine. Just the end of the
It's gonna be like Simon Cowell will be like, so iHeartRadio, what do you think? It's gonna be a no for me today.
so on that note, I'm gonna review the Pixar story. This is the story of Pixar and the great
story of a girl.
Oh, I was singing the same song.
Sorry, repeat that, Lewis.
Houston, we have a problem.
Many.
Wait! You tricked me. You said before we started.
I know.
Son of a mother.
Wait,
man.
hold on. Yeah, I was like, hold on. The Pixar story. Hold on. It just clicked. I'm like, okay. Like, I'm feeling a little under the weather, so I was chalking it up to, okay, I'm hearing stuff. So I thought he had said something else, but I guess it's a Pixar story. Good.
Yeah.
I'm not the only one.
Yeah, no. I was like, all right, you know what? Let me go with the Pixar story. This is more fitting to the conversation that we're having about the previous movie.
Yeah. Okay. How does Pixar fit in with Jesus Come? Please tell me that.
I think it's just hilarious going from that extreme to this.
Oh my God.
So this is a documentary about the creation of the phenomenon that is Pixar and the animation studio that gave us pretty much the best animation of modern times.
DreamWorks. Excuse me.
Excuse me. Hold your tongue. Never say that again.
Pixar.
Donkey. He gave us Shrek.
Pixar.
It gave us How to Train Your Dragon. You're gonna tell me that that's not good?
How Do You Train Your Dragon is incredible, but
Yeah.
you gotta admit, Pixar is definitely a better company than DreamWorks. Like, come
Well,
on.
that's because Pixar's got Disney money now. So
Well, no, it's always had Disney money, but that's besides the point. But
By the way, speaking of Pixar, Lewis, I finally saw Coco.
oh, isn't it so good?
I cried like a baby.
I know.
I cried like a baby, dude. Like, oh man.
It's the abuela scene, right?
Yes,
Grandmother
at the
scene.
end, I was like,
Right? Oh my god.
I was ugly crying too. I wasn't just crying. I was like,
I told you guys a story about when I first watched Coco, right?
Oh,
No,
God,
I
that
don't.
movie.
Maybe you have. I don't remember.
So I was at a friend's house, and I had never seen Coco, and Coco was already out of the movie theaters. It was because she was streaming it on, I want to say it was Amazon,
Okay.
and she was playing it as background noise because like she was doing like a bunch of other things. It was me, April, it was like a whole bunch of us, and I'm the only one that's really paying attention. Like I'm sitting in the middle of the room watching it on this like 65-inch television screen, and all of a sudden it's like at the beginning of the movie where he comes into the room and he's like, mama, grandmama, Coco. And I went, Coco's a grandmother? The room came to a halt. Everything everybody else was doing just stopped. And they're like, have you never seen Coco? I'm like, no, this is the first time I'm seeing this. That's why I'm paying attention to it. Oh my God, everybody be quiet. We're all watching Coco. We literally stopped every plan we had for the next hour and a half or however long that movie is because so I could watch Coco.
It's so
Because
good.
I had no idea what the fuck it was. I knew what it was, but I had no idea that Coco was the grandmother.
It's so funny. I'm sitting on the couch watching Coco with my girlfriend. She's like, I don't know why I'm hunched forward and she's behind me, like watching. And that scene at the end comes on with Coco, like when you start singing to her.
It's usually the opposite way around, right?
Fuck off.
Just saying.
So I'm crying, and I feel
I
her
know you
crying
like it from the
behind me.
behind, but come on, you know.
Dude, I love it in the butt, dude. Fuck. Butt stuff rules. Yeah, I said that.
Benvenuto, ami, ami.
So I'm crying, and I feel her crying behind me, but none of us say anything. And then I'm like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm all right." It was like beautiful. Oh man, it was funny as hell. But yeah,
man.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So continue with the Pixar story. We kind of derailed out with Coco. My bad. My bad.
No,
sorry.
hey, you know what? That's what this is all about. The whole documentary goes on the creation of Pixar, which obviously it started off as animators from Disney, and they're like, well, you know, we don't want to do any type of computer animation or anything like that. That's what Disney said to them, and they basically screwed them over a lot, honestly. And they're like, you know what? F you guys, we're gonna do something else. So they split off from Disney, and they actually got funding from Steve Jobs.
Yeah, from Apple and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
and
Yeah.
they were like the one. Steve Jobs is like, he's major in Pixar, which I did not know that at all. I did not know that. And like, even to this, like, obviously until his death, he was actually a majority shareholder in Pixar.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. Even when it got sold to Disney, he was still like majority shareholder with Disney. So he was getting Disney money even right before he passed. It's probably what kept him alive, honestly.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, after Apple went under, like, you know, almost went under and fired his ass in the 90s, I mean, you know, come on.
Yeah. True.
The only money that he was getting was Pixar. So, yeah, that's the only thing that kept him alive, literally. But yeah, besides that, like, it's just this awesome story of these artists that literally started in the garage and started doing something different. They started making something completely outrageous and for the standards of that time, and they changed the face of animation. Everybody was like, oh, you can't take down the juggernaut that is Disney. There's no way you could take that down in animation. Nobody even stands close to it. Everybody has tried, and they push a little bit, they get a little bit, and then fall short every time. Pixar is the only company that was able to stand up against Disney until it got bought out by Disney. But you know,
Toy Story's amazing.
I guess this is the epitome of you either live long enough to be the hero or you watch yourself become the villain.
yeah, right. And then, I mean, now Pixar has become literally the gold standard for animation. All the best movies that we've seen animation-wise in the last, 15 years, 20 years, have been from Pixar.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
like
it's incredible.
Moana's Pixar, right? Or no, that's Disney.
No,
that's true.
Disney. Yeah.
Damn, dude, the disdain in your yeah.
No, it's not this. I like Moana. Moana was good, but
How dare you, sir?
it wasn't as good as a Pixar movie. Even on a worse day, Pixar movies are pretty good. Good Dinosaur is probably one of the weakest movies. Ants Life or Bugs Life, it's like those are good. Movies.
Are you talking about Ants, bro? DreamWorks.
No, Bugs Life. I said a Bugs Life.
No, I know, but like you said Ants Life, so I just thought of Ants, the DreamWorks movie.
No,
Yeah.
no Woody Allen.
No, the reason I started laughing was I just watched Honest Trailers. Oh no, sorry, Everything Wrong with the Lion King on YouTube.
Oh my god.
And there's this one scene where you see Timon, like where he's eating the bugs, right? Because he's telling Simba what they eat to survive. And the guy goes, "How a bug's life should have ended." I lost.
Yeah, that movie. But that's the thing. Even that movie, that in the standards and in the what do you call it, the pantheon of Pixar movies, that is probably one of the lower ratings, with the sequels of Cars and Planes and all that other.
God, I fucking hate
God, Planes should have never been made.
Cars.
I mean, all those
Cars ass.
Yeah, the first Cars was good,
The
but
first one was good.
the first one was good, but the sequels were just it was like, okay, yeah, that's it. Come on, guys, for real, let's stop this.
The third
And
one was definitely a lot better than the second one.
but even those sequels hold true to like a good movie standard. They're still good movies. They're bad Pixar movies, but they're good movies still. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it does, but they were just, yeah.
So this documentary basically tells the story of what they did to become who they are and all the struggles and tribulations that they went through, which is actually very fascinating. And it actually was a really well done documentary that didn't just it wasn't just a fluff piece. And they didn't just honestly go into like saying, oh, Disney's bad, Pixar good. No, they actually went into, this is why Disney did this. They knew that this worked. They go into the reasons why the Disney executives did what they did, which was actually fascinating. And then they tore apart the what do you call it? They tore a new asshole to the Pixar creators at the beginning because of what they were trying to do. And it kind of like, it gives you honestly an honest point of view of what they did and how they came about, which is interesting for a documentary when most of those people are still alive, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
So it's interesting. And honestly, it's a Phoenix story. That's what it is. The whole
Rise
Pixar
from
thing.
the ashes.
That's what it is, because Disney gave these guys money to make a film, which was Toy Story, and they set it out to fail. The whole point of Disney giving them money was so they could fall apart and see like, haha, this is what you get for trying to go against Disney, you know? And they completely turned that around.
Fuck.
And they did the same thing every film, though. Even, what do you call it, with Monsters, Inc., they kept telling the Pixar people that, oh, no, you can't have this director to do this. You have to find a new director. You have to find a new director for Incredibles. That's why they kept changing directors constantly. Because if not, it would have been Lasseter directing all these films.
God.
Yeah.
God.
What was the first Pixar short?
The
It was
one with the
the,
lamp?
yeah, the lamp.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That was actually an award-winning animation.
It
At
was.
itself. In 89, I think it was. I want to
Tell
say.
you right now. So I'm looking up
Yeah,
list
I mean,
Pixar shorts. The Adventures. Oh no, actually, whoa. Is it Luxo Jr.? No,
yeah,
actually, so
Luxo Jr. Luxo Jr. is the one.
technically, their first one is called The Adventures of Andre and Wally B, which is the bee and the white, like round dude with the red hat.
Yeah, but that wasn't. I guess.
Okay, that was a division of Lucasfilm, which was later named Pixar. So technically, the first one was Luxo Jr., which is 86,
86.
which is the
There you go.
lamps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that was phenomenal. Can you imagine doing
86,
that?
that's
in
like incredible.
86?
Yeah, that's incredible.
That's nuts, man. That is truly, truly nuts.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, yeah, that it was a good movie. I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. It's a documentary, so it's not for everybody, but it is a very enjoyable movie, and it's well worth it.
Awesome. I'll definitely be checking it out. I know you said you didn't like the one for Walt Disney, right?
Oh yeah. I just, it's a fluff piece. All the documentaries that I've seen on Walt Disney are fluff pieces, and I know the guy was a scumbag. So I'm like, come on, give me the truth, guys. The guy screwed over so many people, and they make him sound like a freaking saint. It's like, come on.
Come on, man.
Yeah, but I mean, like, who hasn't screwed over somebody on their rise
Yeah,
to?
but if you're doing a documentary, you got to do it justifiably correct, not lopsided, and only give the good side.
Did you guys watch Finding Dory?
Yes.
Did you guys watch the short before Finding Dory?
Which one was it?
Piper, the little bird.
Oh, that was cute. Yeah.
Yes, the one with the little, like, on the beach.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
What's your favorite Pixar short?
Oh man, that's super hard. I'm looking them up right now.
Yeah, let's do this challenge for the end of the episode. Find your favorite Pixar
I really like that one.
short.
Piper's really good.
My favorite is the volcano one from, I think,
Oh, the lava.
Inside. Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, that one. That made me cry so bad.
We're such babies, man. You and I are such babies. I love it.
That movie made me cry so much. Oh God.
I love you.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. So good. So, anyways.
What Disney movie has the short in front of it that is the guy with the papers?
I don't
Guy
know.
with the papers.
That the papers go flying and he's like chasing it through the city, and then at the end he ends up in front of like a train, like a subway, not a subway, but like in New York, those elevated trains, like in
Like an
down,
overpass?
yeah, like
Yeah.
the overpass ones. He ends up and there's like a girl, and they
I don't
see
know.
each other. Bro, is that Frozen or something like that? It's one of those that has that short in front of it.
No idea, man.
But yeah, whatever. I thought of it right now.
So, William,
Piper.
your turn.
He's like, I don't know, bro.
Well, I'm gonna have to save my time and look him up because I'm looking him up right now, and Pixar Short Collection Volume 1. I mean, off the top of my head, I think that there's two that really stands out for me, and one of them, oh, okay, never mind. There's three of them. Okay, so there's
be
the
like
first
an hour
one.
episode, I swear to God.
No. There's the one with the old man playing chess with himself.
Jerry's Game or whatever. Gary.
Yes, something like that, which I thought was really, really good.
Yes. I remember that.
There's Partly Cloudy, which is the one about the stork and like the cloud trying to deliver the baby.
Yeah.
Um,
Anything for me? I was like, yeah, whatever.
there's La Luna, which is literally about like this boy trying to get the moon, and he finds this man on a boat that eventually gives him it tells him how to get to the moon, and he sees it. It's really cute. And then there's Feast, 2014. It's about this man who has a puppy. He finds this puppy, brings him home, and you see the camaraderie. It's from the point of view of the dog. And the man feeds them. They get together. Then he finds a girlfriend, and you see how the dog kind of like gets neglected a little bit. The girlfriend's very health conscious, so the dog goes from eating the scraps of like steak and potatoes to like kale with like a little bit of tomato. And then the man breaks up with the woman, and you see like the dog trying to make him happy, and he can't. So one day he goes and finds, like, he runs away with the man chasing him, and he goes to where the ex-girlfriend used to work, and she's still there, and he gets them to reconnect. And then they have like a baby at the end, and you see him like hanging around with the baby because the dog's happy as well because he's back to eating the healthy, fun scraps. I think that's just like really tugged at my heart. So that's probably gonna have to be like the main one that I'm gonna go with.
That's a good one, yeah. I honestly, like, I was thinking about it the other day for some reason. Before this movie even, I watched this documentary, and I was like, oh my God, Lava, that little short was so good. And then it was followed up by Inside Out, I think it was. Oh, which was so good, too. And it was like, oh, screw you, Pixar. Screw you so hard. The Pixar movies, man, my God.
Paperman. That's the name of the short that I'm thinking of.
Oh, yeah.
Paperman. It's in black and white.
Yeah.
It was
Look at your pretentious ass.
2012. It's with Wreck-It Ralph. That's where they played it. That's
okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. If we don't get William out of the way, we're gonna be here for like an hour and a half.
Sorry. Yes.
No, it's good. I love this. I'm saying, like, I know my cousin deep down's probably like, fuck. I need to go to sleep or something.
No, the one that I'm working on currently, I haven't finished it. It's called Sick Note. It's on Netflix. It actually stars Rupert Grint, aka Ron Weasley, and Nick Frost, who, if you've seen Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead, sorry,
Yes.
you'll know exactly who he is. It's funny. It's British comedy, British humor. It's I mean, it's not as dry as it's been in the past, or they've gotten to where they understand that British humor doesn't have to be dry. But basically, Rupert has like a very mundane life. Um, I'm on the clock, not you. He has like a very mundane life. His girlfriend just leaves him. He's literally about to lose his job. Everything's going downhill, and then he ends up going to the doctors, and he's diagnosed with cancer. This is not the funny part.
That's
so his life turns around. People, when you have cancer, people feel bad for you, and he ends up, his job is safe. His boss likes him again. His girlfriend takes him back. And you see him getting sick, and you're like, oh, let's see where this goes. You think that it's along the lines of, what was it, 50-50 or 50, the one with Jason
with
Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
And Seth Rogen, right?
Yes. But then the doctor calls him and basically goes, my bad, you don't have cancer.
How do you mess that up? How are you like, my bad, yeah, you don't have cancer?
I don't know.
I'd be like, you're a shitty doctor. I'm never going to you again.
But thanks for telling me I'm not dying.
Yeah, thanks for telling me I'm not dying.
So, because his life turned around after he was diagnosed with cancer, he basically makes a pact with the doctor where he's like, so I won't tell people you're a shitty doctor, but you're going to keep playing this card that I have cancer. And the doctor goes, okay. And that's all I'm going to leave it at, because there's more to it, but I don't want to, that's the premise of it. There's obviously more detail to it. It's fun. It's lighthearted. I like both actors, but especially I love Nick Frost because he usually
he's great.
He plays he always plays like the dumb guy, so to speak. I mean, let's be honest.
Oh, but he plays dumb good.
But he plays dumb. He plays dumb good. He plays a good dumb guy. Like I said, if you watch the trilogy of Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and World's End, he always plays like that character. He's also in what movie did I see him recently? What was that movie with the girl that becomes a badass killer? I reviewed it and I watched it. It's got Ben Affleck's ex-wife, Jennifer Garner. Peppermint.
Yeah.
He's got a short cameo in Peppermint.
Nice.
Yeah. I liked it. I mean, from where I stand, I give it probably a good solid 7.5. The final verdict to be, left. It's out for now because I want to see. It's only 2 seasons. So
I was looking up.
And they're pretty much short seasons.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome.
So
I'll probably check it out.
Yeah, and watching, I think this is like the first movie, the first show I've seen with Rupert outside of Potter. So seeing him not being Ron, but still kind of being Ron, is funny. So because it's like, use your wand, Ron, but you can't. Yeah.
Ronald
Rupert.
Weasley.
Rupert.
All right, guys.
Fraud.
Oh yeah, William, what is your pick for next week's movie that you said before we started recording?
Oh, yes. Next week, it's going to be on Amazon. It's Bad Samaritan
Bad
with
Samaritan.
your one and only David Tennant.
David Tennant.
David Tennant. Good movie. I'm going to watch it again. I saw it when it first came out. The movie is actually Legion is the company that made the movie. And for those that don't know, Legion is actually if you want to put it like fan-based production company where basically it runs off of money that is raised by donors.
Yep.
So it's not like a $1 million or $1 billion corporation or whatnot. Like this was actually pretty much paid for by the fans. And to have raised enough money to have somebody like Tennant, which I believe to be like the biggest name in the movie, goes to show, how much.
Well, I mean, they just got Nick Cage too for Mandy. That was another.
We're not talking Mandy. I'm gonna pretend I've never seen Mandy and not. No, we're moving on. So,
All right.
Bad Samaritan, and I think that you guys will like it.
Awesome.
Yes. All right.
All right, guys. So thank you for joining us on this journey this week. It was a long episode. Epic.
But that's all, folks.
I feel like I have like mini strokes every time we record. It's fine. I'm okay. I'm fine.
Yeah, we do that to people.
Yeah. William, thank you for joining me as always.
Always a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Lewis, thank you.
Thank you.
Snort.
As always, I'm Brandon, and we will see you guys next week on the next episode of Man Fights.